Let's bring in former Treasury official and Morning Joe economic analyst Steve Rattner. Steve, you've got your famous charts that really help underscore what this bill means for the millions of Americans who have been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for help. And, you know, even just this delay that the president made of the last week or so has an impact. Explain it to us.
Sure, Casey. Well, what my chart showed today, really, because we didn't know till late last night what was going to happen, is what's at stake, and by implication, who's going to benefit from it. So I think the core of this are the unemployed Americans. There are over 20 million unemployed Americans receiving unemployment insurance at one time or another. And right now, we had 14 million for whom this was really on the line. And that's basically two groups of people. It's approximately 9 million people who were getting expanded eligibility under CARES. They were getting this extra time of unemployment payments even after the normal 26 weeks that people get under the state programs had expired. And then secondly, you had a larger group of people who work in the so-called gig economy, who were Uber drivers, TaskRabbits, Dash deliverers, who essentially would have gotten no unemployment under the pre-existing programs. And so all that totaled about 14 million people. And that number, as you can see on the chart, was essentially remaining constant in this sort of 14 million range, even though the number of people, the gig workers were declining, but the number of people on this extended 14-week program was increasing. So you had 14 people on the line, whose lives were on the line, who had lost their unemployment insurance on December 26th because this expired, who are now going to get back at least some additional unemployment. In addition, you have all the people, these two groups, plus about 5 million people who were receiving regular unemployment insurance, who had lost the $600 a week back in the end of July that had expired, and now will get back $300 a week, which is not $600, but at least it's something, but their lives are on the line. But all this is against the backdrop of an economy that is actually showing signs of slowing, in large part because many of these programs had expired at the end of July. And so just in the last few days, the very end of last week, we had a number of disappointing data reports, and we can look at just a few of them here. You had consumer confidence starting to turn down. You had consumer spending, which was supposed to go down a little bit, go down by a good bit more. You had personal income also fall off fairly substantially, and that had a lot to do with the end of these stimulus programs. And you had new home sales, which, as we know, were quite strong over the summer and in the fall as people try to trade up to slightly nicer homes or move to the country or whatever it is they wanted to do. But those have also started falling off as a result of a lot of this uncertainty. So we were looking at a situation in which the economy was really starting to slow down. You saw it also in new claims for unemployment insurance. We're going to get a new monthly jobs figure on January 8th, and it's quite possible it will show a loss of jobs. So all of this was critical for two reasons. One, to help the overall economy start to resume a more normal pattern of recovery, which had really started to fade away. And secondly, to help all these people who had lost their jobs, who were out of work, and were really depending on the federal government for help. And thanks to Donald Trump and the slowness with which Congress acted, we're really getting nothing, Casey.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.